Hello, 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 everybody. I'm Recie Myers coming to you live from the city of Richmond.
Hello, and I'm Roland Myers, her husband.
Every day, Roland and I come and share something with you that can help you in your personal life, in your business life, in anything that you are trying to do. Because we are of the belief that we can all make ourselves better. And so we are on our journey exploring greatness in all of its forms. And so today we have 5 more little tips to share with you. And these tips, just to let you know, I've gotten these ideas from it's Alux, A-L-U-X, alux.com. And we're talking about skills, 15 skills that we should all be working on to improve ourselves. And right now I'm speaking to spiritual entrepreneurs, people who know that they are destined for more, they want to do more, they want to be more, they want to impact more lives. And so these are just some skills that we should all be working on. We shouldn't be, focusing on what Susan is doing, what she's growing in her garden, and what she's wearing and that kind of stuff. That's superficial stuff. We need to do some deep work on ourselves, which is what Roland and I are working on. And so I want to share some more with you. There were a total of 15. Now, if you're catching us live today, just tell us where you're tuning in from. I think I just saw Helma. Good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining. And hi, Frederick. Glad you can join us today. So yesterday I shared 5. I think I shared 4 yesterday. I added those 4 to the 5 I had done before. So we're going to continue with number 10. Things that we should do, skills that we should be developing within ourselves. And number 10 was to be able to read, understand what you're reading, and to be able to memorize. Some people better than with that than others. But you know what? It's a skill, and it takes practice. Did you want to add anything to that?
No, just practice.
Yes, yeah. To be able to develop you, some people may have some limitation because of an injury. We're talking about people, and we have this magnificent brain in our heads between our ears that is so capable of much more than what we give it credit for. And if we are focused and determined, there's a lot that we can do. All right. So use your time. We said, ability to read, understand, and if the lulls in the daytime, put that lull time to use. With your earphones, you could be listening to something that's wholesome, uplifting, something that's going to make you better, a better person. All right, number 11. You want to do that one? Oh, let me do it because my handwriting is so scribbly. The ability to take a process, break it in parts, break it down into smaller parts, and then to do it step by step. You have a big problem. Okay, you want to get this done, but where do you start? Being able to take a problem, whatever it is, something that you want to accomplish, and break it down into smaller steps. So knowing what you need to do every day, what you need to do every week, what you need to do every month until you are able to accomplish that goal. They say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. But I don't know if anybody who wants to eat an elephant, perhaps. Yes, all right. Number 12. Want to do that one?
Well, self-analysis. Okay, track your own progress. You can only improve what you can measure.
Yeah, like I know for me, during the winter months, those of you who've been following me know I've been an avid walker. I would walk and exercise every day. And I do know that sometimes things come up. Like I'd suffered an injury in my back, and believe you me, it took longer than what I thought to heal. And so when I got on the scale gave me some information that I didn't want to see, but at least I know what it is. And so we can track our progress. if we analyze, it doesn't have to be just in weight. If there's something that you want to do, you can track your progress. And that's a skill to be able to develop that. Did you want to add something to that?
Well, some people call it benchmarks. I know when we're in the school system, that's what the term they use, benchmarks. So we need to set benchmarks for ourselves, whatever that we set out to accomplish. Other than that, how you know that you're making progress.
Right.
So benchmarks are important.
That's right. So I have a new benchmark in terms of weight, and around the middle part of my body is telling me something that, well, let me say, the mirror is giving me some information. All right. Number 13. Now, this was a biggie one for me, and I hadn't really thought about it. We talk about IQ and all that intelligence, but there is emotional intelligence and empathy. Some people have no empathy for others. That's too is a skill. They see someone suffering and maybe asking for help, and doesn't matter what culture, that's it. They just turn a blind eye. We should have empathy for others.
Sometimes you have to go beyond policy and, use your heart instead of your head,
Right.
and trying to connect, with others.
That is so important. Connecting with people, having empathy, emotional intelligence. Well, yeah, I'm not going to say too much on that. My little notes here, it says,
You're president alone.
yeah, I didn't say anything right there. Being able to interact with others, to understand them, to motivate them, to inspire them, that all comes from emotional intelligence. And some of us, our emotional intelligence is in need of some overhaul.
Yeah, we need to figure out a reason why we care,
Yeah.
and then that empathy will come out.
Yes, you're so right. All right, that was number 13, emotional intelligence and empathy. Number 14, I'll let you do that one, Roland.
Self-respect and having a what?
Having a backbone.
Backbone.
Having a backbone. When and I'm sure I'm not the only one. If you see injustice, do you call it out, or you just like, well, I don't want to get involved? A lot of people take the latter. Oh, I don't want to get involved. There's a TV show, I can't even think of the man. It's like they're in a grocery store, or they would have someone, maybe an actor or something, to challenge, like, I don't know, it's like cause a problem, and say, well, no, you can't shop in my store because it's just showing prejudice or something like that. There's some people who are like, well, you know what, let me move over here and not even I don't want to get involved. They see injustice. Having a backbone is part of humanity, I think. You have to have a backbone. You got to stand your ground for your beliefs, your ideas. Treat others the way you want to be treated. But some people, they allow others to treat them the way they treat themselves. You have to have self-respect, and that goes a long way. Call out injustice where you see it, and other areas where things are not.
And sometimes some people that are being unjustly treated are waiting for someone to speak up in their behalf, and you never know.
It was something recent. Oh yeah, I saw it on I think on Facebook, maybe earlier in the week or last weekend. I think there was a lady. She was on a plane. I can't think, was it Frontier Airline or this particular airline? She and her daughter came on the plane. Everybody boarded, and she and her daughter sat on their seats on their row. And where her daughter, who's 14, there was someone had gotten sick and threw up all over the floor right by the seat. Now that is a health hazard. She called attention to it to the stewardess. At least this is what the story was. If they could either clean up the mess or let them sit in another seat because there were empty seats on the flight.
It wasn't her job to clean it up.
Right, but and you know, she didn't want to sit there, and she was asking politely from what the video showed, and no one on the plane spoke up on her behalf. What happened was she ended up being arrested, taken off the plane, and then her daughter. I mean, they wanted her daughter's 14. They were trying to say that her daughter could have stayed there on the plane and go. How many of you would have let your daughter fly by herself? Now I don't know what circumstances there were, but that mother was handcuffed and arrested. I think that's injustice, and I think those on the plane should have stood up and said, "Look, you know what? This is not right," or stood up on in her defense. Anyway, enough of that. All right, number 15. I'm sorry. Well, hi Esther. Glad that you are joining us this afternoon. Joelle, hello. Thank you for joining us today. Hello, Eric. And who else is here? Wallace, thank you. All right, we'll do the last one. This is the fifth one that we're going to share, but I've included all of the ones that we've done so far. Number 15 is a skill to be able to generate ideas that have value. You know, you say, how is it that person always coming up with these great ideas? You know, guess what? We all have that ability, but it's like a muscle that we have to exercise. You know, we got to keep at it. It's not going to just jump into your mind. Yeah.
And one way you can get those ideas and values is from reading, you know, different books from different authors, and sharing. You know, pretty much what we do every day. We share from what we get from different speakers.
Yes, and from the lady who was speaking on the podcast that we listened to, she was talking about see your mind as like a gardener or like a piece of land. And what do we do with land? People who are farmers, they plant seeds. They plant all kinds of seeds, and you're not going to reap the benefits of that plant the next day. It takes time to tender that garden. You got to water it. You got to weed out the weeds that can come choke out the plant.
And that's the thing.
Right.
If you don't do anything, you get weeds.
Right. So what are we planting in this mind of ours? We have to plant it, feed it with those good, wholesome, knowledge by reading values. Yes. So these are just some 15 skills, and each one needs to be mastered. So it's not like you're going to do all this, I'll be done with all this, how about maybe next month? No, this is a lifetime work that we need to do, working on ourselves. Well, we want to say thank you to those of you who have joined us today. Hello, Joan. And if you're catching the replay, press #replay. If you joined us here live, tell us where you're tuning in from. And Roland and I come to you every day to share a nugget or two. Hopefully you've gained some value. If you have, share this out. Someone else can benefit from it. We thank you again for joining us. I do have something in the description that tells you where you can get some more information. I do have, Spiritual Entrepreneurs, Goal Crushers. So if you'd like to join that group, I have it there for you. I share different quotes and different things like I just did today. And I also have Recie's Domain, a website that you can go and look around and see some other valuable things that I have for you. So we thank you again for joining us. Hi, Annette. Glad that you can join us. So we look forward to seeing you next week on Tuesday. Enjoy your weekend.
Have a safe weekend.
Bye-bye.
Okay, look at